Da-da-da. Oh. Oh, it just starts. Okay. And cool. Okay, so for everybody who's watching this later, which will be most of you, because most people don't watch my videos live, that's fine. I don't care. As long as somebody watches it eventually. I have a... put it right up in front of the camera. I have a little relay module here. I need to make some enclosures for them, and so I'm going to design one. But first I'm going to design this as a mock, and then I'll probably start streaming in a few hours from now, once I have this mock up so I can make a thumbnail. So this will be a pretty short one. Alright, so we're going to just start off with nice, easy, big dimensions. And for some reason, my calipers are in English, so they shouldn't be. This is pretty close to 2 inches long. Really hope the other dimensions aren't also English. It'd be really weird. Oh my god, they are. How terrible. Don't dimension things in Imperial. That's just dumb and bad. So, this over here, we got 25.9. We got, no, this was 50.9, this was like 25.6. Now I gotta go check it again, because... oh my god, it's almost exactly an inch. No, it's 25.6. Okay. 25.6. Sexy. So, we got a PCB that is 0.62 millimeters thick. Oh, is my input plugin working? Doesn't seem to be. Oh, it doesn't seem to capture. Doesn't capture numpad. That's terrible. Let's just do plain text then. I wonder if I can get this to also do mouse. 6 cutoff letters. Built-in names. That looks kind of crummy, but oh. Oh, what the heck? I removed save changes. Yeah, I'll just keep them. Whatever. Okay, so you can't see what number keys I'm hitting, but that is the nature of the beast. So we got a little teensy tiny fillet. It's like 1.4 millimeters out here. Fillet. I can spell it good. Fillet. 1.4. Get rid of it and then pop it back on so I can use the connector to start face. Okay. I guess next up I can do the holes. I really hope these are M3. That's gonna be... ooh, they're 2.95 inches. It's a lot more like M2.5 territory. I don't have M2.5 because nobody uses M2.5s. So what I'm gonna do is guess a little bit, I guess. 17.25 17.25, 23.25, 23.25, 20.25. So I'm going to do a quick hole pattern. This here top surface. Oh, I need to fix that call out format. Every time I'm just like, I don't need to worry about it. But I do, because it bothers me. And 3 close positions. I wanted this one. because this is a rectangular hole pattern, I'd like to start with a quick rectangle and then use a construction line down the middle. That lets me... I don't have the extra point that you would normally get with a center rectangle. This generates a point in the middle there, and that would give you an extra hole that you don't want. But if you use a rectangle, then you can just place your 4 points. I think this was 20.25. Now, what I could do is I could use offsets, and I think normally I would do that, but since I really want these holes to be dead on, I'm going to measure them. So that's 48.25, 48.25, and 42.75. No, hang on, I should get that. That's like 42.6. Okay. 42.6 millimeters plus 48.5 millimeters. 91.1, so that's 45.5-ish. That sounds about right. 45.5-ish. And then we'll hit OK. Give me 4 holes where I want them. Then we'll do... So I think based on this structure here, I'm kind of thinking probably that big guy in the middle is what we want first. And then, well, maybe the terminal blocks, because those look kind of mirrored. Yeah, I can check that too. See if that's the same distance. 2.35 on one side. 2.2 on the other side. Yeah, I think they're mirrored, so I'm just gonna go ahead and model those ones first then. So I will do an extruded boss. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna wait to do this ones until afterward, because that gives me some more sharp edges to work from. So I can come here to the front, and I don't know what plane it thinks I'm sketching on, but I'm sketching on the front. So we'll go kind of like this. Lock up those up nice and quick. Do horizontal on the points. Well, I think if you do equal, more people would expect an equal constraint there, so if anyone ever had to use this model, which they don't, I'm the only person who will ever use this. Whoops. Nope. I don't care about that height. Not yet. I want to take this guy right here, like that 2.2. .7 millimeters. They are... Looks like they're about 10.25 tall. 10.25. This one's gonna have to be mostly guesswork. 6.4 millimeters tall. Oops. 6.4. Back to the front. Why it thinks these are... Oh, because this... Oh, goodness. Because all of this has no constraints. Hang on. Coincident. There we go. Okay. Now we just got this bit to constrain, which isn't that bad. It's like, why is some of that looking constrained? It should be very thoroughly constrained. Then we've got this guy up here, who's about 5.2 long. So I'm going to use... Oh, man. You know what? It really doesn't matter what this distance is, so I'm going to say it looks like about 1 through my calipers, through my optical micrometer, so I'm just going to call it good there. And they are 14.95 across. So we can go over here, do a blind, because these are going to be centered. If they're not centered, well, I don't care. I'm going to assume that they're centered. Seems pretty good. I can do a quick mirror on the right plane, which will bring it over here. Do click feature, left click to select it. Just clicking the one face will grab the whole feature when you're doing a mirror and telling it to look for features. You can also mirror geometry too, but that's more of that's a fine difference, and you have to be really careful with using it a lot of the time. And then a right click to, like, oh, I can look at that, a right click to solve it. So I have this little yellow doodad right up here, this guy, and he selects whether it's doing high or low, or whether the relay triggers on high or low for the normally open, normally closed. I don't think I want anyone to access that. It does matter for the purposes of making sure I have clearance for it. So what I'm going to do, just kind of tack him onto the side. Oh, I re-zero at some point. Yeah, it's 1 millimeter, so I'm going to, my reference, I think looking at it top down, is going to be like this. I'm going to have the relay on the right side. So I'm going to start with a sketch over this side. Oh, hang on, I don't want to do it on that face. Well, yeah, I do want to do it on that face, screw it. Those are 0.1 pitch, almost certainly. So I can just say, well, they're a little smaller than that, but I'm still going to call them 7.5. According to really eyeballing it, that's about 12.7. Which is weird. I feel like there's always more very frustrating imperial dimensions on here. And this guy is 2.5. Nine millimeters tall. And I am... something is not right because it's not giving me my auto dimension, or my auto. Did I like hit a hotkey that turned that off? Rapid sketch. I'll leave that on and see what happens. It's possible that that's the feature that I turned, the built-in feature that I turned off, but I'm really not sure why it's doing it now. So let's go here. Okay, just quick sketch. Yeah, okay. No, it's not doing it. Quick snaps. I don't know. Okay, Googling. SolidWorks, automatic constraints. Missing. Oh, automatic relations. Okay, I bet it's a hotkey. I bet it's tied to a hotkey for some ungodly, god-awful reason. Tools, sketch settings. Okay. Automatic relations. Wait, what's that other thing that said automatic? Automatic solve, automatic relations. Okay. So if I get rid of that now that I have automatic relations on, there we go. See, that's what I expect. I've been working with that for ages, and it's super handy. You should use it all the time because you can control, yes, I want that relation, I want that relation, I want that relation. You don't have to go like Alt-V for vertical, Alt-H for horizontal, which is moving your hand around more and slows you down. Anyway, I think that's most of it. Yeah. Okay, let's do the relay next. Do a quick extruded boss on the top plane, and I'm just gonna be lazy here. Oh, you know what? That's sometimes relations will get in the way of clicking on other things, which is annoying but mostly fine. It is 15.2 across, so slightly wider than these puppies. And then it actually looks about right for length, but yeah, 18.8. I have 18.5. 18.8. Okay, so now I have to get distance from the end. just gonna be kind of crummy. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it. And I just say it's like 11.5 from this guy over here. Then I can do a quick height check. I think there's, you can see on the bottom side of the PCB, down by my thumb, there's not really a whole bunch going on, so I can use that as my reference surface for how tall things are. And I'm realizing I can't really show this, but can I see? Can you see that? Kinda, yeah. I'm using the PCB as the reference surface on top of my calipers, and I don't know where my camera is, so I can't put things in front of it. But then I can butt up against the top there. That is 15.4. So quick exit sketch. Features 15.4 looks about right. If we come back here, have those fillets and clearance holes from earlier. Those just drag down and activate those, and that looks like really everything I need to care about on here. Nope, I'm full of shit. I need to do. So I have these on the bottom. These not vias with through-hole leads in them from the components on top, and they actually matter. I do need to care about these because these are what I'm planning to isolate. And so you can see those three at the bottom there. Just the light for my screen. So those three at the bottom there could potentially have up to like 200 volts AC across them, which isn't great. So I'm going to try and isolate them a little bit by putting PLA in between them. So I need. Now we're going to come down to the weird. This is going to be weird. So what I'm going to do is I really only care about sort of the big ones down the middle. I've got the set of 3 at the left, set of 3 at the right, set of 3 in the middle, and then that set of 2. And those are the ones I care about. So I'll do a quick sketch. I want to go before the fillets and clearance holes so I can have those sharp edges for dimensioning. Not super important, but sometimes it does matter. So we've got that rectangle. We've got this other rectangle. Whoops. So for this guy in the middle, for both of these, they're both going to be on the center line. The difference is this guy is going to be totally centered, so I can use the midpoint constraint on a cross line to get me what I want. But this guy is just going to have points out at the edges, so I need to select probably the midpoint, and then I'll just do a horizontal to the origin, and that gives me my vertical symmetry. I have one more point that's going to be kind of vibing off to the left of this guy. And I don't know how far away he's going to need to sit, but you can see that that those 3 in the middle there aren't in a line, so I have to be a little cautious about that. Now just measuring it up. We've got 10.35. You know, I could just measure from the edge of the traces, because those are going to have the right spacing. Yeah, it's pretty much spot on 10, which makes sense. So we've got, I'll do that as 10 and then go do show and tell. We know these are 15 millimeters across, and you can see that they're triple ganged. It's 3 screw terminals. Wait. There we go. You can see that it's 3 screw terminals. So they're symmetric, and they've got features on the side that make it pretty obvious that they're supposed to be set next to each other. So you can assume that you've got 3 of them, 15 spacing, so like it must be 5 millimeters between each of them, roughly. So now we can go back down here and assume that and know that for sure. So I'll pop in 3 points. And then we've got this point over here, these 2 guys up here, or these 4 in that square. So now I need to figure out I have no guarantee that the holes are centered on the center line, so I'm gonna just. So I don't know that it's mirror symmetrical either. So I do have to measure from back here.
That is about almost it. mixtape.
Oh no, the mixtape's almost done. I'm gonna have to work faster.
You're doing good. Hope you're safe. Hope you're well. Okay.
It's like 39 millimeters, I think, on the dot. It's 39, and that'll give us those points. The clever trick for this is yet to come. I'm gonna do a show and tell. And then these are 12 millimeters across, that dimension. It would surprise me if these are close to square, but these are 11.5, it looks like. Now I need to figure out, I think what I'll do is just, so from the 2 pair, I'm going to use that reference to the edge over here as my offset. And I'm going to have to really wing it. It looks like it's about 13.5, which is good enough for me. And that just leaves this guy, which for some reason I've decided to dimension as an offset from over there, but actually I'm going to undo that in just a sec. I'm going to measure from this nice friendly reference edge over here again. So I can click this guy and say that I also forgot what the dimension was. 28 and change. Yeah, hang on. Probably, yeah, 28. Let's call it 28 and call it even. Oh, hey, that's interesting. That's right on that center line, isn't there? Man, that'd feel really dumb if... Oh, those do look pretty centerlined. Whoops. Oh well, could have saved myself some time, but... What are you gonna do? Okay, so, now... I can't really do a revolve because I don't have... Oh no, I can do a revolve. Watch this. Here's the safe way to do revolved features when you have... Oh, let's flip that normal. If you take a plane and then use some of your sketch geometry that you use for planning your pattern, when you hit OK and you generate that sketch, you can then go here, sketch, hit N, and it'll bring you to normal, and then you just draw your revolve planning as normal. So we've got... I like to use construction lines from the origin of my sort of reference volume, and then that gives me... Oh, hang on. Need to hide this sketch, because otherwise I'll get references to it, which isn't great. We can do this. Make this guy. These are about... I think 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters is good, but I'm gonna say... Oh, did it just go... It's restarted the album. One second. I forgot to turn that on so that it wouldn't stop playing music, but now I have to go find new music. So I'm going to play the other EP from this band. The band is Bobbing. They're excellent. The one you just heard was Mixtape. It's, oh, so good. This will be Thank You for Singing to Me, which is a great album name. Let's be honest here. So let's do 2.2, because that was the height of these vias, or rather these through-hole leads. And they are 1 millimeter in diameter. And the bases are close to 2.35-ish, which seems pretty reasonable. These fillets are pretty small, so I'm going to go down to 0.2. It's not really important, but it's more of an amusing anecdote. Let's say 30. And now, when I step out and make that a revolve, around the only construction line, which I already know is reference to where I want it to be, then I can do a sketch-driven pattern, which is the, watch this crazy trick thing. Sketch, grab that sketch, and then I've got that revolve. Boom. All of your vias right where you want them. And yeah, looks all good to me. So we can take a look at the bottom here. I can Trying to remember which orientation my camera's in, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to cut the stream here, just because this was the only thing I really wanted to achieve in it. Oops, no, don't make another sketch, hide that. Oh, no. Save this part as the relay enclosure, lock relay, and that is all. I will be back online in roughly, I think I wanted to do it at 6 or maybe 6:30, depending on when people are actually available to watch me. So then I will do, at that time, an enclosure for this. Probably some really lazy isolation. I don't actually know how much isolation PLA provides. I had access to a mega meters today, so I don't know why I didn't do that. Yeah. See you all around. Thank you for listening. Thank you for singing to me.